Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue of family celebrations turning into potential disaster zones when notorious characters attempt to rebuild bridges that others would prefer remain burned. The Spencer-Forrester romance blossoms. Young love continues to flourish between Will Spencer and Electra Forrester, who have been nurturing their budding romance away from the drama that typically engulfs their families. Their relationship has deepened considerably over the past several weeks, creating a strong foundation that both are eager to celebrate. Will, showing his father Bill's romantic tendencies, but with a softer touch, has planned an intimate evening beginning with dinner at the infamous Il Giardino restaurant. The candlelit ambiance of the establishment provides the perfect backdrop for their milestone celebration. Electra, having inherited her family's fashion sense, will likely arrive in a stunning ensemble that catches every eye in the restaurant. Their plans extend beyond dinner, with Will arranging a moonlit walk along the beach, followed by a surprise visit to a jazz club that recently opened in Los Angeles. The young couple represents a rare moment of peace between the Spencer and Forrester dynasties, though such tranquility rarely lasts long in their world. Luna's dangerous obsession. Meanwhile, Luna Nozawa finds herself at a crossroads in her life. Recently revealed as Sheila Carter's granddaughter, she's experiencing the unfamiliar sensation of being wanted by family, something she's desperately craved throughout her troubled existence. Luna's complicated history includes the shocking murders of two individuals connected to Deacon Sharp, creating an uncomfortable dynamic as she's welcomed into Sheila's inner circle. Her psychological profile suggests a young woman starved for affection and validation, making her particularly vulnerable to Sheila's manipulative influence. When Luna encounters Will and Electra during their romantic dinner at El Giardino, her reaction reveals disturbing undertones. Her eyes follow Will's movements with an intensity that borders on obsession, her mind crafting elaborate fantasies where she replaces Electra at his side. This fixation likely stems from her brief encounter with Will at Bill Spencer's estate, where she misinterpreted basic kindness as something more significant. Luna's awkward attempt to insert herself into Will's evening with a hesitant, high, and unnecessary explanation about her connection to Bill Spencer represents her desperate attempt to establish relevance in his life. The seeds of a dangerous triangle begin taking root in this seemingly innocent interaction. Electra's growing concerns. Electra Forrester isn't naive to potential threats. Having already learned about Luna's violent history, she maintains a cautious vigilance whenever the young woman appears. During their unexpected encounter at El Giardino, Electra notices Luna's lingering gaze on Will and recognizes the warning signs of unhealthy interest. Though Electra projects confidence, internally she questions whether Luna's interest in Will might evolve into something more sinister. The Forrester heiress has witnessed enough family drama to understand how quickly situations can escalate from harmless to dangerous. Will, somewhat oblivious to the undercurrents, responds to Luna with basic politeness, nothing that should encourage her fantasies, yet nothing firm enough to discourage them either. His Spencer charm, inherited from his father Bill, sometimes manifests as friendliness that troubled individuals like Luna might misinterpret. Electra contemplates whether to voice her concerns to Will or keep them private, weighing the risk of appearing jealous against her genuine worry about Luna's psychological stability. This internal conflict adds tension to what should be a perfect evening celebration. Sheila's grandiose celebration plans. Sheila Carter, notorious for her dramatic gestures, has embraced her grandmother status with characteristic intensity. The revelation of Luna as her granddaughter has triggered Sheila's fantasy of family reunification, a dream that includes bringing her son Finn Finnegan back into her orbit. Deacon Sharp finds himself in the uncomfortable position of trying to temper Sheila's expectations. Having rebuilt his life and business at Il Giardino, he recognizes the potential catastrophe in Sheila's plans. His attempts to reason with her about Luna fall on deaf ears, particularly when he raises concerns about Luna's violent past and the unlikelihood of Finn agreeing to any family gathering. Sheila dismisses Deacon's warnings with the wave of a hand, her mind already filled with visions of a grand celebration at Il Giardino. She imagines Finn embracing her as his mother again, conveniently ignoring the restraining orders and years of trauma she's inflicted on his family. The party planning takes on frenzied dimensions as Sheila insists on elaborate decorations, specialized menu items, and formal invitations, including one addressed to Finn that Deacon quietly sets aside, knowing delivery would violate multiple legal restrictions. Deacon's ethical dilemma. Deacon Sharp's position grows increasingly complicated as Sheila's celebration plans advance. On one hand, he cares deeply for Sheila despite their tumultuous history. On the other, he cannot forget that Luna murdered two people he considered friends. His restaurant, El Giardino, has become his redemption story, a legitimate business that represents his journey away from criminal activities. Now, Sheila threatens to transform it into ground zero for a potential family explosion. Deacon contemplates his options while preparing the restaurant for evening service. He could refuse to host Sheila's celebration, risking her volatile reaction. Alternatively, he could allow the party but warn Steffi and Finn, potentially betraying Sheila's trust but preventing a traumatic confrontation. The weight of his decision manifests in small gestures, a glass polished too aggressively, instructions delivered too sharply to his staff. Deacon understands better than most how quickly Sheila's disappointment can transform into dangerous action. The inevitable collision course. As evening approaches, all storylines converge on El Giardino. Will and Electra arrive for their romantic dinner, unaware of the celebration Sheila has orchestrated in the private dining section. Luna, having received Sheila's invitation, enters with nervous anticipation, her attention immediately diverted when she spots Will. Deacon moves between tables with the practiced ease of a restaurateur, his anxiety hidden behind professional smiles. He notices Luna's fixation on Will and recognizes another potential problem developing under his roof. Sheila makes her grand entrance, commanding attention in a striking red dress that symbolizes both her passion for family and her dangerous nature. Her disappointment at Finn's absence is momentarily forgotten when she embraces Luna, loudly proclaiming their familial connection for all to hear. The announcement catches Will and Electra's attention, connecting dots that heighten Electra's concerns about Luna. Evening balances on a knife's edge, with Sheila's celebration, Luna's obsession, and Will and Electra's date all threatening to collide in spectacular fashion. Will Sheila's grandiose plans implode? Can Deacon maintain control of the volatile situation developing in his restaurant? How will Will respond if Luna makes a more direct approach? And most importantly, will Electra's intuition about Luna prove correct? The stage is set for drama that could reshape relationships and create new enemies in the complex world of Los Angeles' elite families. One celebration might just trigger a cascade of consequences that no one, not even Sheila Carter, could anticipate. Next, we will learn about the issue of groundbreaking female representation in daytime television as Heather Tom makes history with an extraordinary all-women episode celebrating The Bold and the Beautiful's 38th anniversary milestone. Behind the scenes, magic revealed. The atmosphere on set was electric as ET Online gained exclusive access to the filming process, offering fans an unprecedented glimpse into the making of television history. The cameras captured Tom in her element, seamlessly transitioning between her multiple roles while maintaining the warm professionalism that has defined her career. I feel so lucky to be a part of this environment and a part of this show and to be able to work with such amazing, amazing ladies. Tom expressed with genuine emotion, her eyes reflecting the deep appreciation she holds for her colleagues. The sentiment wasn't merely performative. Those present could feel the authentic bond between the veteran actresses. When discussing her relationship with Jennifer Garez and Catherine Kelly Lang, Tom's face lit up with sisterly affection. We've shared so many moments together, both on screen and off, she elaborated, detailing how their decades-long professional relationship had blossomed into a profound personal connection. There's something special about growing together through different chapters of life, while portraying these complex characters. The lines between fiction and reality sometimes blur in the most beautiful ways. The behind-the-scenes footage revealed the intricate dance of television production. At one particularly fascinating moment, the camera pulled back from a tight shot of the technical crew to expose the elaborate infrastructure supporting the seemingly simple scenes viewers enjoy at home. The ceiling grid bristled with sophisticated lighting equipment. Boom microphones hovered just out of frame, and the walls that appear solid on television stood revealed as carefully constructed set pieces. Tom took time to acknowledge the often unsung heroes of production, the lighting technicians adjusting illumination to flatter every actress regardless of age, the sound engineers capturing emotional whispers with crystal clarity, and the camera operators executing complex movements with balletic precision. This is truly collaborative art, she noted, gesturing to the bustling crew. Every person here contributes something essential to the story we're telling. The sisterhood of daytime television. The camaraderie among the female cast members was palpable throughout the filming process. Between takes, Lang and Gerace were observed sharing quiet conversations with Tom, occasionally erupting into laughter that momentarily paused production. These weren't mere colleagues, they were women who had witnessed each other's personal triumphs and struggles over decades of working together. What makes this episode particularly special, Tom explained during a brief break, is that it celebrates the authentic female relationships that have always been the backbone of this show. She described how the writer's room for this special episode consisted entirely of women, many of whom had been fans of the show before joining the production team. They understand these characters on a visceral level because they've grown up with them. The episode doesn't just feature women on screen. It was crafted by a predominantly female crew. The camera department, typically male-dominated in television production, included 3 female operators who brought unique perspectives to framing the intimate mother-daughter scenes. The lighting director, a veteran of 20 years with the show, collaborated closely with Tom to create visual motifs that subtly reinforce the thematic elements of the script. "We're not just telling a story about women," one crew member commented off-camera. "We're demonstrating what happens when women are empowered at every level of storytelling." This philosophy extended to the costume department, where the wardrobe choices were deliberately selected to reflect each character's emotional journey, rather than merely showcasing fashion. The directorial challenge. Tom's directorial approach revealed her deep understanding of the show's visual language while introducing fresh perspectives. "I kind of have, my shadow person in the booth," she explained with a self-deprecating smile, referring to the technical director who executed her vision from the control room while she performed on set. The logistics of simultaneously directing and acting presented unique challenges that Tom navigated with remarkable grace. Between takes, she would review footage on monitors, occasionally requesting subtle adjustments to lighting or camera positions. Her attention to detail extended to performance nuances. In one observed instance, she gently guided a fellow actress toward a more understated delivery that powerfully conveyed subtext. "Directing on this show has been an evolution," Tom elaborated, describing her journey from actress to director over several years. "The producers initially gave me smaller scenes to direct, then gradually entrusted me with more complex episodes. This methodical development of her directorial skills prepared her for the monumental task of helming this anniversary special." The technical aspects of soap opera direction differ significantly from primetime or film production. "We're essentially creating a new hour of television every day," Tom explained, "which means making decisive choices quickly and trusting your instincts. Unlike primetime shows that might spend a week shooting a single episode, daytime dramas operate at an accelerated pace that demands efficiency without sacrificing quality." Tom's directing style emphasized emotional authenticity over technical perfection. "I'd rather capture a genuine moment with a slightly imperfect camera move than lose the emotional truth in pursuit of technical precision," she stated. This philosophy was evident in her willingness to extend takes when actors were discovering unexpected emotional depths in their performances. The writing process unveiled. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Tom's achievement was adding writer to her already impressive resume. "Writing these characters that I've known for decades was both intimidating and liberating," she revealed during a quiet moment between scenes. "I've lived with Katie Logan for so long that her voice comes naturally to me, but crafting dialogue for characters I don't portray required a different kind of empathy." The writing process began months before production, with Tom developing the concept in collaboration with the show's head writer. "I wanted to explore the cyclical nature of mother-daughter relationships," she explained, "how patterns repeat and transform across generations. This thematic foundation informed every scene, creating a narrative tapestry that honored the show's rich history while pushing characters in new directions." Tom described late nights at her kitchen table, surrounded by character histories and family trees, ensuring continuity while finding fresh emotional territory to explore. "These characters have decades of history," she noted, "which is both a gift and a challenge for a writer. The audience knows them so intimately that every line must ring true to their established voices." The script underwent multiple revisions, with Tom incorporating feedback from producers while maintaining her core vision. "There were moments when I had to advocate for certain scenes that felt essential to the story," she admitted, revealing the delicate balance between collaborative television production and artistic integrity. What emerged was a script that veteran cast members described as among the most emotionally nuanced they'd encountered in their long tenures with the show. One actress was overheard commenting that Tom had captured her character's voice with uncanny precision, as if she'd been in my head all these years. "Making television history." "It's kind of mind-blowing," Tom remarked with genuine astonishment when discussing her historic achievement. "I can't even really wrap my head around it, but it's happening. It's actually happening." The weight of being the first woman in daytime television history to write, direct, and act in a single episode clearly resonated with her. The significance extends beyond personal accomplishment. Really, there's a handful of women that have done it across all television platforms, and so I'm really proud to kind of join the ranks of those two or three other women. She noted with characteristic humility, contextualizing her achievement within the broader landscape of television production. Industry veterans present during filming acknowledged the groundbreaking nature of Tom's accomplishment. One executive producer with over 30 years in television remarked off-camera that this milestone was embarrassingly overdue in an industry that has historically limited women's opportunities behind the camera despite their prominence on screen. Tom's achievement represents a culmination of gradual progress in the industry. When I started in this business as a child actress, the idea of a woman directing was unusual enough, she reflected. To now be writing, directing, and acting feels like the fulfillment of possibilities I couldn't have imagined then. The episode itself focuses on the complex mother-daughter dynamics between Steffi and Taylor, and Hope and Brooke, relationships that have formed the emotional core of the show for generations. These relationships reflect universal truths about motherhood and daughterhood. Tom explained the complicated ways we both embrace and resist becoming our mothers. The anniversary celebration. In celebration of The Bold and the Beautiful's remarkable 38-year run, a testament to its enduring appeal and cultural significance, this special episode serves as both commemoration and innovation. Few television programs achieve such longevity, and fewer still use milestone anniversaries to break new ground rather than simply revisiting past glories. An anniversary should look forward as much as backward, Tom suggested during a brief interview between scenes. We're honoring our history by demonstrating that this show continues to evolve and surprise. This philosophy informed her approach to the script, which includes what she cryptically described as major twists that will challenge viewers' expectations. The episode deliberately centers on the show's matriarchs and their daughters, highlighting the generational storytelling that has sustained viewer investment across decades. These mother-daughter relationships have been the emotional backbone of the show, Tom noted, even when romantic storylines received more attention. Production designers created subtle visual callbacks to significant moments in the show's history, from photograph arrangements that mirror scenes from decades past to costume elements that evoke pivotal character developments. We wanted the visual language to resonate with longtime viewers while remaining accessible to newer audiences, explained one set decorator. As filming wrapped on this historic episode, the atmosphere on set was one of collective accomplishment. Cast and crew gathered for an impromptu celebration, acknowledging not just Tom's individual achievement, but what it represented for women in television. "This isn't just my milestone," Tom insisted, gesturing inclusively toward everyone present. "This belongs to all of us who've worked to make opportunities like this possible." The Bold and the Beautiful's 38th anniversary episode stands as both celebration and challenge, honoring the show's legacy while demonstrating that even established institutions can break new ground. As Heather Tom makes television history, she opens doors for future generations of women in the industry, proving that creative leadership knows no gender boundaries. This extraordinary behind-the-scenes glimpse offered fans more than just production details. It provided a window into television's evolving landscape, where talent and vision increasingly transcend traditional limitations. As one crew member observed while cameras were being packed away, today wasn't just about making an episode of television. It was about making history. Next, we will learn about the issue of who truly deserves the title of most appalling villain on The Bold and the Beautiful. While many characters have committed terrible acts, one stands above the rest in terms of hypocrisy and self-absorption. Rich Forrester, despite his reputation as the show's golden boy, is arguably the most despicable character in the B&B universe. What makes him particularly loathsome is not just his actions, but the inexplicable pass he receives from everyone around him. The self-centered fashion designer has consistently demonstrated that he believes the world revolves around him, and bizarrely, the other characters seem to reinforce this delusion through their unwavering adoration. His moral compass is perpetually broken, yet he's quick to judge others for their transgressions. Ridge has crossed boundaries that should be unforgivable, including making romantic advances toward multiple wives of his father. His relationship with Brooke Logan has been particularly problematic, featuring serious consent violations that were later swept under the rug as if they never happened. The fact that these relationships continued afterward speaks volumes about the show's troubling handling of such serious matters. The indecisiveness Ridge displays in his romantic life makes other famously fickle characters like Liam Spencer appear steadfast by comparison. His endless vacillation between Brooke and Taylor Hayes has created decades of emotional turmoil, yet both women continue to welcome him back with open arms whenever he decides to switch partners again. Perhaps most baffling is how Ridge maintains his reputation as the ultimate catch despite his abhorrent behavior. His father, Eric, has overlooked Not only Ridge's inappropriate relationships with his wives, but even the revelation that Ridge isn't his biological son. This suggests Ridge possesses some extraordinary manipulative abilities, convincing everyone around him that he's worthy of admiration when his actions clearly demonstrate otherwise. Ridge's hypocrisy knows no bounds. He judges others harshly while never applying the same standards to himself. His selective memory allows him to forget his own misdeeds while holding grudges against others for lesser offenses. The arrogance with which he looks down on those who fail to meet his arbitrary moral standards is particularly galling given his own extensive history of reprehensible behavior. Other characters on the show have certainly committed their share of terrible acts. Sheila Carter, notorious for her murderous tendencies, once killed someone using bees of all things, yet still feels entitled to pass judgment on others. Luna Nozawa ended 2 lives in her quest for both paternal guidance and financial security, yet somehow believes she deserves redemption. Bill Spencer took advantage of his own daughter-in-law, Steffi Forrester, during her emotional vulnerability, despite her marriage to his son Liam. Even Eric Forrester betrayed his wife Quinn Fuller by rekindling a relationship with former spouse Donna Logan while still committed to Quinn. Yet none of these characters, despite their significant moral failings, quite reach the level of Ridge's persistent awfulness, combined with his unearned reverence. What makes Ridge particularly insufferable is the disconnect between his behavior and how he's perceived. While other villains are at least acknowledged as such within the show's universe, Ridge continues to be treated as if he's some divine gift to humanity. The psychological dynamics at play in Ridge's relationships deserve deeper examination. Both Brooke and Taylor, accomplished women in their own right, have dedicated significant portions of their lives to making excuses for his behavior. This pattern suggests either extraordinary manipulation on Ridge's part or a troubling commentary on how the show portrays romantic relationships. Either way, it creates a disturbing precedent for viewers about what constitutes acceptable behavior from a romantic partner. Ridge's consistent ability to avoid consequences for his actions while harshly judging others for similar or lesser offenses makes him uniquely infuriating. He embodies a special kind of entitlement that allows him to believe rules simply don't apply to him. His moral flexibility when it comes to his own behavior, contrasted with his rigid judgment of others, reveals a character who lacks even basic self-awareness. In the pantheon of soap opera villains, Ridge Forrester stands out not for the spectacularly evil nature of his deeds, but for the spectacular hypocrisy with which he conducts himself while maintaining his undeserved status as the show's romantic hero. Until the other characters recognize Ridge for who he truly is, Mr. Blunderful rather than Mr. Wonderful, he will continue to reign as the bold and the beautiful's most appalling villain, all while wearing the unearned crown of the show's leading man.